Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to a new video interview here at Chogonet. And today we are joined by Christos Dimitriadis, who is the CEO of Intralot, one of the leading providers for the gaming industry and partner for lotteries worldwide and also a sports betting operator. So welcome, Christos. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Sure. So during your last annual general meeting, you presented 5 pillars on your new strategy for the group, including this business innovation via digital technology. And you recently focused on this digital transformation that we are witnessing these days, and maybe this pandemic as an accelerator for some behavioral trends that enable, for instance, cashless devices and other new technologies. So my first question will have two parts. First, how has this pandemic worldwide impacted, or what were the effects on Intralot so far? How have you, what changes were in place in Intralot to adapt to the new situation and leverage this digital transformation? And also the second part will be, in which stage of this transformation do you think we are regarding the gaming industry, and what are your outlooks for this in the short term?
Absolutely, a great question, Juan. First of all, I'd like to say that we are in a few months now in this pandemic. Our first priority was the safety of our people. So one of the first actions that we took was to make sure that everybody's healthy and safe from the pandemic. So we have immediately enabled our business continuity plan. We have been able to send everybody home in order to work from there. And since we had all the infrastructure ready for this, we saw no disruption in the business. Mm-hmm. Now, if we are to assess the impact of the pandemic, to your question, we really need to first analyze this in terms of the vertical industries like lottery and sports betting, and then per channel for the industry in order to gain a better understanding of what really happened there. As far as the sports betting industry, we've seen the shutdown of major sports events, and that was very unfortunate. Our reaction to that was threefold. First of all, what we did was to make sure that we diversify our portfolio. So we have started investing in alternative offerings like esports, virtual gaming, and so on. And so far, in the past few months, we have managed to, for example, implement such solutions in Peru, in Malta, in Taiwan, in order to be able to keep the business going, and at the same time, in order to be able to diversify our portfolio and the portfolio of our customers even further. Our second reaction was to keep investing on our internet betting solution. So we saw this pandemic as an opportunity for us, no matter how terrible it has been for the lives of many people around the world. We needed to maintain our focus and to improve further our internet betting product. Mm-hmm. So we kind of invested in that, being very prudent on our financials in order to make sure that the continuity of the company is assured. And we have kept conducting research in order to prepare for the next day, because we strongly believe that this pandemic is maybe finalized, may end in a few weeks, in a few months. Nevertheless, the effects of the pandemic are long-term. And we also like to analyze the macro parameters, the macroeconomics of such events in order to make sure that we adapt to change and that we're ready for the new demand that is being created both by players and operators. Our third reaction was to make sure that we also digitally transform the retail channel, because we have seen from limited to full lockdowns in retail, and we wanted to offer our partners, our customers, with solutions that will permit them to maintain their business. So within that scope, we have bundled our existing technologies, and we have also improved them in order, for example, to be able to offer a touchless journey through the use of mobile apps that interface with the endpoints within the retail shop, and or through establishing cashless methods or paperless as a whole methods and so on. So that was our third reaction as far as the sports betting industry is concerned. And as far as retail is concerned, this was also applied to the lottery industry. And this is how we see that an operator, a lottery, a sports betting organization can really innovate through the use of digital technologies. And as far as digital transformation is concerned, we focus on data, on understanding the player better, on understanding the retail environment better and the online environment better in order to permit us to keep improving our products. As far as lottery is concerned, what we've seen there, especially in the United States, was growth and increase of an increase of performance. And we interpret this more as a shift of the players from those industries where there was a complete shutdown, like the casino industry and or the sports betting industry, moving towards the lottery industry. So we've seen increased performance in our lottery operations. And nevertheless, what we have also did there in order to react and to be future ready was to redesign our internet lottery solution. We have built a brand new product we call Lotos XI, and which offers an end-to-end internet lottery solution for those who want to diversify their portfolio further, to introduce a channel on top of retail, and to be able to offer lottery games and draws on top of the retail channel, which may have been shut down during that period. So those were our reactions, and also the means through which we have implemented our new strategy. And in the following months, we will keep investing there in order to more, let's say, intensively transform the industry. Because to your second point and your second question, I strongly believe that we have a lot of work to do in our industries, in the gaming industries, in order to introduce digital technologies, to help digital technologies really transform and innovate both the lottery and the sports betting industry. And there is a lot of work by the whole industry there remaining. We are lagging behind, and this accelerating force, the pandemic, was more of a shock. It was more of a force that helped us understand how we can really create value, and we can really help state organizations in order to contribute to good causes through the use of these technologies.
Right, that's very, very clear. And among this research and data that you're gathering and you're working on, could you specify which changes have you seen on the player side and in the players' environment, both existing players or new ones or potential that are coming brought on by the pandemic since the outbreak began? And if you can describe these new player profiles, their new demands in terms of products, games, technologies, and how are operators, retailers, and Intralot, of course, working to meet those demands specifically, and also which products do you think that are best performing these days or will in the coming days?
Okay, so starting from your last question, I believe that the more diversified the portfolio, the more successful it is. So the most successful offering is the diversified offering. We've seen an improvement, as I said, in the lottery offering. Nevertheless, that might be a one-off because we've seen the shift from other industries. The real change that we've seen has to do, is a result of the analysis of age demographics. So we've seen that the older generations very quickly started to adopt new technologies. So we've seen a shift in that age group towards the adaptation of digital technologies, the use of mobile apps, the use of the web channel, of the internet channel, in order to participate in lottery games and so on. We have also noted that the younger generations, again, as far as age demographics are concerned, are really keen into finding new ways for entertaining themselves. Meaning that what we really need to do with the younger generation is, first of all, to make sure that we have a very diversified offering, so we keep people engaged, and so they don't get bored, let's say, with the same offering within its industry. That's one. And the second, as far as the younger generation is concerned, it's something that we knew from years now, but I'm not sure how the industry, how fast the industry moved towards that direction, was again the use of digital technologies, the use of mobile apps, the use of mobile phones in order to help the younger generation participate, entertain themselves in these particular industries the way they used to do the rest of the things and their conduct in their lives. So again, it's about technology, and it's about diversification. In terms of the operators, what the operators, the new demand by the operators was, first of all, continuity, because that has been a catastrophic event for many companies around the world. So again, technology there can provide a solution through resilience of the technology itself, but also through being able to provide an offering through internet channels or through the use of digital technologies within retail. And again, I strongly believe that the most important demand is diversification. So we've seen traditional lotteries looking for iLottery solutions. We've seen lottery operators thinking about sports betting, a way to be licensed for sports betting. So I believe that as far as continuity and success is concerned, again, my point is use of technology in order to innovate. That's number one. Number two is be as diversified as possible in order to be able to react to such conditions introduced by the pandemic.
And when you talk about diversification, well, you mentioned some of the recent announcements that you've made these months, and you also explained what drove those particular moves in those segments. But do you? I don't know if you already have an initial feedback from these recent announcements this year, at least, including sports betting, for example, and live casino. Which are which do you think the best, the areas where there is the most room for growth, potential growth in the gaming industry, based on what you've been expanding these months?
So I believe that there is a future in esports. I mean, this year there is a projection for a $1.1 billion industry. This is where we expect esports to these numbers to reach. This is something like a 15% growth since last year. Mm-hmm. I also see a great opportunity in sports betting in the United States. I mean, the studies are projecting a $5.5 billion industry from 2023 and on, as those are gross revenue numbers. And this is certainly a great opportunity to capture. And I absolutely see a great opportunity in iLottery as well. I mean, in 2019, we see that the lottery sector has a gross revenue that more or less is following the GDP of its country. In 2019, in the United States, that was a $91 billion industry. I see a lot of room for improvement there, especially through iLottery, through utilizing the internet channel in order to provide lottery games, not only because it's a response to a pandemic, but mainly because the demographic change and the generations that are coming behind us are really keen into using technologies, into using again their endpoints to entertain themselves, as I just said. So those are the many areas where I see the greatest opportunity.
Great, great. Well, since you mentioned the US, this is a market that we are all very focused on since pass repeal. So, and you've recently appointed a new CEO for your US subsidiary there. And also an agreement with the MLB recently. So what are your, can you delve a little further into your expectations and goals for the US sports betting market? Maybe as well as we keep seeing more states that keep regulating this vertical, and major sports events are coming back. So there is a lot of expectation there. And maybe if you can compare different states within the country, maybe for potential entering, that would be great.
We expect a lot from the further regulation and opening of sports betting in the United States. This is our primary focus right now, one of the primary areas of our focus areas of our strategy. In the United States, we have a great team. As you very well said, we have appointed a new CEO. We have a great executive team. We have very recently reorganized the company in order to be able to meet the demand, the new demand that it's being shaped. We have a very strong technology division there. We have a very experienced commercial division. We have a services division that follows the state of the art as far as standards are concerned in that area. And we strongly believe that there is an enormous opportunity for growth there. In order to achieve growth and to achieve growth in such a highly regulated market as the United States, you have to be ready in terms of making sure that you have compliance capacity. I mean, that you follow the standards, that you understand what responsible gaming means, that you make sure that your conduct as a technology provider or as a company is according to the state of the art. And this is one of the differentiating points for Intralot in relation to smaller providers, that our brand name and the work that we did over the past years got us in a position to be able to serve such a highly regulated market as the United States. I see a lot of growth there. We are very intensively working into growing in the United States, and we're very, very optimistic about the business that we're having there. In terms of other jurisdictions, again, we're focusing on developed countries. We're focusing on highly regulated markets. And we strongly believe that both sportsbook, iLottery, and of course traditional lottery as well, when appropriately transformed, can add great value to the states, because at the end of the day, both in the United States and the rest of the world, our main target is to be able to support the organizations that are licensed in order to contribute to good causes. And this is hugely important, because this is also the real purpose of Intralot and the ideal behind the establishment of this company. This is what we're serving. So we're very, very focused and very, very committed in making sure that we increase our contribution to the generation of funds for good causes. And we strongly believe that our technology is, and the investment that we did in the past in new technologies will provide an opportunity to the industries that we serve to further innovate and follow other industries that are much, much more advanced as far as technology utilization is concerned.
Great, great. Well, Christos, well, thank you very much for your insights and your time today. Hopefully we'll talk soon under better circumstances in the global gaming industry. So thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you, Juan. Great questions. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to speaking to you as well. Thanks a lot.
Goodbye.